Hi everyone, thanks for clicking the button. Earlier this spring I was walking around in the woods and I happened to find this burl laying on the forest floor. I think it's either maple or some kind of oak, not really sure until I get into it. So I figured what I do in this video is get all this bark off and then figure out how to cut this up into veneers that I can use on future projects. Looking at this, you can see that the burl grew around the branch of a tree. The branch is pretty much rotted out in the middle, and then the burl, is growing around it. I'm not really sure how much of this is salvageable, if any of it's rotten out or whatever. So what I'm going to do first is get all this bark off and get it down so that I can actually see what's going on inside of it, see what areas are rotted, and then from there I'll get this thing sawn up into veneers. So this burl's a good 20 to 25 pounds, and I'd say 16 to 18 inches in the biggest dimension, 12 to 14 in the smallest. It's a pretty good sized chunk of wood, and I'm really looking forward to getting this thing sawn up and seeing what it looks like. Alright, now that I got the bark off, I'm going to take a better look at this. Looks like there's a crack running through here, and the stuff over here is pretty punky, though I don't know, it sounds solid enough. So I think what I'm going to do is, so my bandsaw can only cut 12 inches deep about. I'm going to have to cut off part of this. And I think the way to do that, so I'm going to come straight through here, kind of bisecting this old limb, because that's all going to be waste, it's all hollow on the inside. And then that'll leave me with two halves here that should fit in my bandsaw. So time to get the chainsaw out and do some cutting. Looking at these now that I got them cut apart, I can tell that this is indeed maple, just looking at the grain here. And the other thing is that I'm probably not going to get as much yield out of these as I was originally hoping. The rot pocket on the inside is actually pretty big, and there's some ant damage in here as well. But anyway, let's run these through the bandsaw and see what happens. was going great until it got caught in my saw blade and ruined the blade. Anyway, started off with not that great from that first piece, and as I was looking at it, there wasn't a lot of meat left in it, so I just decided to skip that one. Then getting into the bigger piece, also started out not great. There was a lot of rot coming in through here and punkiness, but then I got into the larger section of it and I was getting more usable stuff, like this one. Actually kind of looks like a bracket fungus, the way that is. So what I'm going to do is get these flitched out so that they can dry, and hopefully in, I don't know, a couple months at the least, I'll have something that I could use for some future projects. So that was a fun little project, just using a piece of burl that I found in the woods. Otherwise it would have just been sitting there rotting, and hopefully now I'll get to turn it into something beautiful, I hope. Anyway, thanks for following along with this one. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.